How you doing, YouTube? Matt Master Beer Reviews. Back with a little Tonewood up in this piece in the form of their Monotone IPA. This is 6.5% Mosaic-based IPA. That'd be that. This comes courtesy of my boy Anthony. He actually sent this off to me, and I think I got it yesterday. So yeah, we're diving head first into some of these beers. This is the second or third? Third beer mail? Yeah, second? I don't know. I lose track of time. Third beer mail that he sent me. And I'm kind of excited to give this one a whirl because you're talking about a 6.5% Mosaic IPA that is less than a month old. Kind of right in my wheelhouse. It's, a nice old school turntable. There's a squirrel chewing on the cable. What more do you want in a beer label? As far as the beer itself looks, pinky finger. Kind of crumbly edged, rocky in the middle, tight compact bubbles. Just by looking at this, I know this is a chugger. I mean, 6.5%, it's not the lowest ABV beer in the world, but just looking at this, I can tell this is... I might be kind of jumping the gun here and confusing it with it being thin, but it has a nice haze to it, but it has this kind of tinge to it that makes me think it's going to be super drinkable. Not like one of those water nerdy beers, something a little bit more chuggable, in a good way. We'll see what's what. So I dig the label, and the beer kind of has me interested, so let's see how that sucker goes in the nose. I mean, that's Mosaic through and through. Big fruity component to it. A little bit of soft, almost minty greeniness in there. It's probably more grassy than anything else, but a big kind of swath cocktail, mixed cocktail, fruit cocktail fruitiness. Tropical fruit leaning, but you're still getting those peaches and citrus in there. Yeah, that just rich fruitiness. It doesn't smell dense. It doesn't smell heavy, and you got that soft little grassiness kind of floating in there. I'm on board so far. It smells pretty damn good. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. It's drinking exactly like I thought it would be. Is it drinking exactly like I hoped it would be? Close. It is a bit thin. It is showy. Definitely on the bittering side, especially coming off that nose. That green came off more grassy. Now it's coming off a bit more piney, or even a little bit more kind of resinous than I expected based off of the nose. You do get that kind of fruit cocktail thing coming through from the nose to the taste. It's probably a little bit smaller than you thought it would be based off the nose, a little bit thinner. The mouthfeel makes it come off a little bit less. But it probably flips the script from being kind of like a tropical with a little bit of kind of OJ to like an OJ pithiness with a little bit of tropical. So it flips the script there, but not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, it's a super chugger. You know what I mean? It's showcasing Mosaic. It's doing it really well. It's taking that versatility across the board of that fruitiness, adding that kind of green in the nose over to that kind of little bit of kind of resinous in the actual taste. It's doing what it's doing. It's doing it well, but it just comes off a little bit thin for me at its ABV. And I just want to kind of stress that, is that this, if you gave it to me, and I know this is a broken record when it comes to me, but it's especially meaningful for this beer. I've had this beer, very similar beers to this a lot this past year at 4 and change ABV. This one's at 6 and change. So it's not so much that this beer is negative. It's not. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. It showcases Mosaic well, and it drinks pretty awesome. It's just doing it at an ABV I don't think it needs to be at. Not at an ABV I don't want it to be at. That's a very big difference. And man, it just drinks like a 4.5%, 5% beer. So they're kind of pulling that off at a higher ABV. Some people don't mind that. That's my soapbox that I literally stand on, and that hill that I pretty much die on when it comes to a lot of beer reviews. But let's put that aside for a second and just talk about the beer itself. So, wonderful Mosaic nose. Really kind of drinkable, playful, chuggable kind of Mosaic taste. Mouthfeel comes a little bit underwhelming. That's it. I mean, really, it's not even like the mouthfeel is underwhelming. I'm thinking of it as like a 4 and change beer. If this was 4, I'd be like, this is really good. It's just since I'm at 6, I'm expecting a little bit more kind of fluffiness, a little creaminess, a little density, something along those lines. I'm not getting it. Biggest knock, other than that, just showcases Mosaic well, and actually ends up being just a really tasty bevy. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better? I assume this has to be single hop beers. Single hop IPAs that I've had as of late. It's in the conversation. I mean, that mouthfeel really does let me down, but it's still tasty, and it does a really good job of letting Mosaic shine, so that in of itself allows it to be in there. But it's definitely not towards the top. Value and availability, no idea. Maybe Anthony or somebody out there who gets Tonewood on a reg can let me know what's what when it comes to this one, and leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you like Mosaic, if you like beers to be more drinkable than mouthfeel, and you like your beers to have a relatively appropriate ABV, but also kind of drink relatively small. I know that's probably the more wanted trait when it comes to a beer that drinks small but is big. I'm the opposite of that. So if those are the kind of beers that you dig, this is worth it. And the can art's cool too. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little Mosaic jam right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.